Hello and welcome back. In the last section, we went ahead and created our bare bones API for get categories. It doesn't necessarily connect to a database as of now. So the next step is to actually go ahead and do that integration with our MongoDB database. Okay. In order to do that, the first thing that we need to do is create a model for the category, okay, which represents our collections in MongoDB. So over here, inside of the source folder, I'm going to go ahead and create a new folder called models. And in here, I'll go ahead and create a model for category. And I'll name it category.js. Okay. And how do we go ahead and create the category model? So for this, we'll be using the Mongoose driver. So first, I'm going to go ahead and require Mongoose. Require Mongoose. Okay. And after this, I'm going to define a schema for the category. And that's going to say const category schema. Schema is equal to new. I'll use the Mongoose schema's schema method. Okay, mongoose.schema. Alright, and this schema is going to have a name for the category, and this is going to have a few properties here, and one of which being the type, and that's going to be a string. Okay, and this is going to be required, so I'll set the required to true. And it also has to be unique. Okay, super. And let's say max length. I'll specify max. So again, let's say 25. And I don't want to go beyond that, I think, not required. And I'll also have another attribute here which says who essentially created this category. So I'll say added by. And again, this is going to have a type of string, and this is also going to be required. We want to make sure we audit all the changes to this category collection. And then we'll have another attribute here called underscore v, and this is going to be of type number. Okay, and essentially this is kind of version control over document here. So for this one, I'm going to say set the select to false. So essentially when I do a select of the categories, the version will not be being sent back as the output. Okay, I think that's about it. So why is it saying that? Okay, I missed the colon here. Okay. Super. And I also want to, Mongo also provides us a way to maintain the timestamps of creation and update to any particular document in the collection. Okay, and we can specify that by saying timestamp, by giving additional options here, by saying timestamps is going to be true. Okay, and I think that's about it. That's how the schema looks like right now. And I'm going to go ahead and export this now. Module.exports is equal to mongoose.model. And I'm going to give this a name called category. Okay. And I'm going to say this is going to refer the category schema. Okay, the next thing is how do we use this in our route or the API that we just defined in here. Okay, so let's head over to the category here, and this is going to be the routes, and I want to go into the model, and inside of model, alright, inside of my controllers now, I'm going to go ahead and import the model. So I'll say const category is equal to require. Okay, and that's going to be requiring or model. So I'll go into the models folder, one step above, models, category, like so. Okay, and now that we have the category in place, we can actually go ahead and make use of that and then query that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open a try catch block here, as we're going to essentially use the async await syntax. Let me get rid of this. So in here, I'm going to say const result await, and I'm going to call the find API on the find method on the category model. Okay, so this is going to be find, and this is going to essentially give us everything. I'm not going to specify any criteria here, so I'm just going to say empty flower braces. Okay, and I'm going to say after this give a semicolon. All right, and after this we have the result in here, and in case we don't have the result, we'll end up in the catch block, and we can go ahead and log the error here, and I will use the Control-Alt-L shortcut to generate the error message here. Okay, so again, we need an extensive error handling mechanism to be also built here in terms of how the errors are conveyed to the API caller and into the UI, and we'll be looking at that shortly. But for now, we will park that particular concern, and we'll essentially address that when we go to that section subsequently. Okay, so what I can do is I'll go ahead and say I need to send this result back to the caller. Let's say res.status, it's going to be 200, and I'm going to be sending a JSON object here. Okay, say JSON and the result. Okay, so I think that's about it. We should be good here. It's saying some error right now, which is nice because we know what exactly is the error. So it says await is only valid an async function. So what I have to do is I have to make this an async function here. Okay, excellent. So I think we should be good here at this point in time. Let's see. Yes, we are connected to Mongo again. Let's see what we can essentially do with this API now. If I call this API now, I should be first of all querying the Mongo database and getting something, but apparently we don't have anything in our Mongo database right now, and we should be not getting anything or getting an empty results object. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to go ahead and do a send request. Yes, we get an empty array, right? So by default, the find method gets us an array of objects, and in this case, where is our category? In this case, we're getting an empty result array. Okay, and that's the reason we are seeing this here. Okay, so subsequently we'll go ahead and wire in the error handling to say that, instead of giving it 200 okay, we can say, we didn't find anything. We can provide, let's say, no categories found, and throw a status code of 404. Okay, just to be semantically correct with the REST conventions. So let's take a pause here. We'll come back and look at how we can actually go ahead and wire in the error handling aspect of it, and we'll talk about it in detail in terms of some more new packages that we can use, which make error handling very easy in the end. Okay, take a pause, come back soon.